Hey, want to hear a joke about paper? Never mind. It was a terrible joke. On to the episode. Let's go into the time machine of the business of fatherhood and time travel back to June of 2018. In the June of 2018, I was at the Dad's Edge Summit put on by Larry Hagner of the Good Dad Project, now known as the Dad's Edge. And we were going around the room and expressing gratitude for where we're at in our life, in our journey. We're honoring someone else that was in the room. And I stood up and said that I was proud of myself. I was proud of where I had gone. This was the second year in a row that I had been to this summit. And I was excited about the road that I was on. I hadn't launched my first podcast yet. I had barely even touched the surface from perspective of where I am now. But from that view, I was really proud of what I was able to go out there and do. And what I didn't know at the time was that other people in the room needed to hear that as well. There was a good friend, Lance Salazar, who runs The Miracle Morning for Legendary Couples. And to this day, he still remembers me saying that. And so let's unpack what that really meant. Because let me be honest, it's okay to be proud of yourself is something very simple. It's only a few words, but man, does it go deep. And here's why it goes deep. And I think it might, for the right man listening to this episode, go deep for you as well. Because up until that point, I had never really let myself feel the success or even the growth success that I had felt because I was waiting for everybody else. It was everybody else's responsibility to tell me that they were proud of me. It wasn't my job. It wasn't my job to see my own value. It was me to try to be a people pleaser as much as possible, to be a nice guy, to be that default Midwestern nice guy. And I was waiting through all of that to someone to one day come up to me and tell me, Ben Killoy, you have done exactly what I needed you to do. And from this day forward, I am proud of you and you can take a break. I'll shortcut the ending. Nobody ever came and told me that. So in this moment, at this conference, when I said I was proud of myself, it was a big moment because what you do matters. It is significant. How you see that success matters. And if maybe you grew up not having someone tell you that they're proud of you, maybe you grew up chasing the A+, always getting it. Or a classic example that I've heard from several dads is, I would get the B+, I would bring it to my dad with all this excitement, and my dad would say, well, if you could get a B+, why couldn't you get an A? And there was always just one more thing that they had to do to get that feeling of being proud. And in those particular moments, the feeling never came. And to this day, those types of men are still out there waiting for someone to say, you're B+, I know that was your best effort, and I'm really glad that you gave it your best effort. Good job. There are more people out there that have been told, you got the B+, but why couldn't you go for the A+? Like you're always just one ladder short from reaching the very top of where you really wanted to go. Because it is okay to be proud of yourself. It is okay to be a little bit excited that you did something. And here's the big idea that I want you to take away. No one person, doesn't matter who, your wife, your family, your friends, your coworkers, doesn't matter who. You have permission to be proud of yourself. You don't need it from anybody else. And here's something to reframe what might happen in your world as you do create success and you do find that you can get to the point and say you're proud of yourself. And there's a quote from Zig Ziglar that paints it perfectly, that sometimes the only taste of success people get is when they take a bite out of yours. And so next time, you remember that when you have success, there are probably going to be people that try to pull you back down. Those people are only struggling because what you did invalidated something they believed maybe their entire life. Whether you did an Ironman because you believed it and they've told themselves they can't, or whether that's a 5K, or whether that's going on a vacation for 3 weeks during the summer, it doesn't matter. Be okay to be proud of yourself. And at that moment, those little steps to be proud of yourself will take you to places you've never been because you've probably been waiting for someone else like me to say it, and it never came. And only when I started saying it to myself did things truly start to change. And with that, I'll be back again with you tomorrow.